Jeremiah with Porsche Detroit North, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at our 2020 Cayenne base. This one is going to be, of course, in the color of Dolomite Silver, sporting a very nice set of 19-inch alloy wheels painted in the color of silver. The purpose of this video is mostly for those who are a little too far away to be able to come and see this vehicle, just to show the condition, how it sits now. And we're going to jump right in. We'll go panel to panel, wheel to wheel, all the seats, get into the interior and the trunk, and just to show the condition of this vehicle as it sits. All right, so we'll start right here up front. Looking at this front fascia, we're seeing nearly no blemishes at all. Thankfully, this car actually has a paint protection film on it. So we'll go right to this front bumper here, and we'll see just a little nick there, and I mean kind of fingernail for comparison, right? Just a small little nick right here, just above that parking sensor on that front passenger side there. As soon as you step off, it pretty much goes invisible. Thankfully, this entire front has been prepped with a paint protection film. So that hood has the film on it, that front bumper has the film on it, both sides of the mirrors as well. And I believe even our front fenders here on both sides, on both sides, even our front fender. So the entire front of this vehicle has had paint protection film on it from what looks like the beginning of this car's life. So you are not going to see really any paint damage, or very minimal paint damage. Underneath that film is basically perfect paint from day one. Love to see that, especially on a 6-year-old vehicle. And that was basically all I have to report on the front. I mean, we have nothing. Like I said, underneath that film is basically perfect paint. So we have I'm giving this the front of this car, for being 6 years old, 66,000 miles. That is an A+ for the entire front end of this vehicle. Coming over around to the driver's side, we're looking at this front wheel here. Has no damage, no curb rash, anything like that. Tires. Looking at the year on these tires, this is a 2023 tire. Looks like I'm gonna grab a meter, and I'll put in a text message where these tires are at. It feels like these tires are maybe approaching that 50% mark. At least this front one is here. Coming around to that driver's side door, this is where the paint protection film stops. At least full panel paint protection film stops, but we do have some of that clear clear door edge film right there on the edge of the door, as well as the fingernail film right behind the handle here. It matches the front. I mean, perfect door, no dents, no dings, just very, very well kept. Film where it belongs. Happy to see that. Same with the rear driver's side door. Got our door edge film right here, and then I have my fingernail film right there. Rocker panel's in excellent shape down there. Moving along to this rear wheel here. Also another 2023 tire, so it does appear that all four tires were all four tires were consecutively replaced at the same time, looking like maybe back in 2023 or so, which is nice to see. That's really good for the all-wheel drive system to have all the tires at the same tread, working together, as opposed to kind of different wears on the tires. So it's good to still see that. Tires are, like I said, they're about 3 years old now, maybe at that 50% mark. I will double check and get my tire meter, just to get an idea of what exactly the reading is on the measurements of those tires there. That rear quarter panel, great shape. Again, the rear, this car, as far as the paint goes, this is typically what we hope for when we start our car search, looking for that nice 6-year-old 60,000 mile vehicle. Hopefully it was kept good, kept in great shape. This is the example. This is kind of what we would be hoping for. You rarely see it, so I'm pretty excited to be able to at least kind of present this vehicle. Coming around to that passenger side, we are in the same shape, so we'll go around and look at the wheels here. So it's that rear passenger wheel. No damage, no curb rash, anything like that. Date on that tire is 2023 as well. So I'm assuming, of course, we're going to see a 2023 date on that front passenger wheel as well. As far as my panels, identical to the right side, or to the driver's side. I am starting to see just a little bit of peel starting to happen right there on the paint protection film itself. for that door edge film on the passenger side door. However, the paint itself perfectly intact, not a single dent on this door. Same film right behind that door handle as well. And then on the mirrors, I just see like a little nick in the actual film itself. The actual paint, let me see if that'll focus. The actual paint is in great shape. And then here, the 2023 date. So like I said, all 4 tires are matching. All 4 were installed on the exact same day. Good to see. I mean, overall, the exterior of this car, phenomenal, especially for its age. I mean, in all honesty, this thing looks better than some 3-year-old cars. Jumping around here, we'll jump right into the trunk here, and then we'll make our way up to the driver's seat. So one thing I like to check right away whenever I open a trunk is going to be kind of this little seal here, because I mean, you got people pulling suitcases and things like that out of the back. I have no scratches from this threshold here. I think I've got just a little bit of dirt, but no actual scratches here. Same with this trim here, and that's a chrome trim, and the only thing you can see on that chrome trim is kind of just towel marks, just the fact that, you know, maybe a towel's been here. A little tiny bit of wear on there, but I don't see any gouges or anything of that nature. The trunk itself is in great shape. No spills or stains or anything like that in the carpet from transporting anything. Trunk checks out. That hydraulic lift works as it should. Jumping into the back seat here. I typically start with the door itself. A lot of high touch wear points are going to be where elbows and hands typically start to go. I'm seeing this back seat almost looks as if no one's ever even been here. Handles are in great shape. Even my trim here, all in good shape. I don't have any scratches along this piano black trim there. No elbow marks or anything of that nature. The threshold looks practically new. The rear seats, like I said, it looks like no one's ever even been here. And we have our quad zone climate control panel back here. It does indicate that these rear seats are heated as well, which is a nice touch. Jumping up to the driver's seat here. Again, that black piano trim, perfect. I don't have any discoloration from wiping with harsh chemicals. I don't have any scratches on this trim. Looks great. As soon as we move down to the elbow pad here, I mean, that's perfect. That's great shape. Our panel, all the windows work as they should. Those mirrors fold in, especially even when you lock the vehicle, and you can set that to automatically fold in. Here's my entry threshold. Entry threshold's really good. I mean, this car almost has 70,000 miles on it, and it's barely showing any of that age. Even look at the driver's seat here. Typically, you usually see a lot more wear than you would here. Some of my service loaners show the amount of wear. I have service loaners with maybe 4,000 miles on them that show the exact same amount of wear on that driver's seat that I'm seeing here. No crazy color transfers. The leather is perfectly intact. It is not dried out or anything like that. It's still very flexible. That cushion is all in great shape there. Even this back seat there. Seat back here. Just very well kept. I'm extremely impressed with this car, if you can't tell. We're gonna do a mile check here with 66,937. Let's take a look at the steering wheel here. No discoloration on the steering wheel at all. Leather still shines as it should. Even that dashboard, I don't have any warping or anything like that from the sun beating on the dashboard itself here. I know that's covered up. Dash in great shape. I do see my heads-up display right there. You might be able to see it there if that focuses. There we go. And then here's our center stack, or our center console here. No scratching or anything like that on these on this haptic touchpad there. Everything works as it should. Got your key holder there. Of course, you got your cup holders down there. Screen looking great. No pixelation or anything of that nature. Very responsive. All the buttons work as it should. No dead spots or anything like that on the screen. Even in the dashboard here, it's probably my favorite dash. I really wish Porsche would have kind of keep this one. That is a hybrid. So that's a screen on that side, screen on that side, and right here in the center here, that is an actual analog. I mean, it's electronic, but it still has that analog kind of feel. Probably the best gauge cluster that Porsche ever designed. I wish we would go back to that, honestly. Then there's our sunroof up here. And the shade works as it should, just retracts just like that. And then the actual sunroof itself, all in working order. Very, very nice. I don't think I ever mentioned the color of this interior. It's called agate gray, just to kind of flow with the exterior. So it's not a silver on black, it's a silver on this agate gray, which is kind of a bit of a darker gray. Kind of just lightens it up a little bit. You still have a nice darker tone. However, it is not just a pitch black interior. Very reminiscent of the kind of that golden age of car manufacturing. Extremely good example of the previous generation of the Cayenne, and then you still get a really a suite of very nice features. So you do have a surround view camera, you do have your dynamic cruise control, of course you got Bluetooth inside. You can plug in with the USB if you would like to, but you do have that Bluetooth inside as well, for being able to listen to your music. Let me check the stereo here just to make sure the option was selected. That is a Bose stereo system, so you do have an upgraded stereo system from the generic Porsche one. I mean, just an awesome example of a vehicle. Hopefully this video gave you a better idea of what you'd be considering here. Feel free to give me a ring if you want to continue this conversation, and I will talk to you soon.